In this tutorial, we are going to look at some of the sounds that can be made with the trusty noise generator, such as the one found in Cherry Audio's Voltage Modular Nucleus. We'll be starting with a blank slate, so we'll hit the New button in the upper left to clear our rack. Obviously, we're going to need a noise generator. So we'll find it in the browser and add it, along with an amplifier. We'll run a cable from the noise generator's white noise output to the amplifier's input. We'll route the amplifier's positive output up to the mains out 1LM jack. Now when we bring up the amplifier's gain level, we can hear white noise. We can drag the cable from the white noise output down to the pink noise output to hear that too. Pink noise sounds duller. We'll bring the amplifier's gain back down. Now let's add a filter module from the browser. We'll place it between the noise generator and the amplifier. We'll disconnect the noise generator from the amplifier's input and move it over to the filter's audio in. We'll run a cable from the filter's low-pass output to the amplifier's input. We'll bring the amplifier's gain up to hear the sound. Now, we'll slowly turn the filter cutoff. As you can hear, this provides an approximation of the sound of surf. Now let's try making a percussion sound. We'll need control over dynamics. We'll add an envelope generator from the library. We'll place it to the left of the amplifier. We'll find the CV sources panel in the upper left, running a cable from its gate out to the envelope generator's gate in. Next, we'll run a cable from the new envelope generator's positive output to the amplifier's CV amount jack. Note that the associated knob is already cranked full. We can now use incoming MIDI notes to trigger the sound and control the amplitude. The sound is a bit dull, so let's switch the noise generator's output from pink back to white. The sound is still quite static. We'll use the envelope generator to do a bit of gain shaping. We'll reduce the sustain slider to nil. Now we'll push the decay slider up to around 500 milliseconds and the release slider up to around 1000 milliseconds. Now when we trigger our sound, we get a nice percussive timbre, not unlike that of an open hi-hat. At this point, our filter is basically just sitting around doing nothing, so let's get it in on the action. We'll go ahead and reduce its cutoff to around 2500 Hz. This only dulls the sound, not really adding much to it. However, if we use another envelope generator, we can add some excitement. So we'll grab one from the library and put it to the left of the filter. We'll connect the CV source's gate jack to our new envelope generator's gate in patch so that we can trigger the envelope with incoming notes. We'll route the new envelope generator's positive output to the filter's Freq Mod 1 input and set the Freq Mod 1's amount knob to about 75%. Our sound is brighter, but still a little static. We'll set the new envelope generator's decay slider to around 300 milliseconds, and the sustain slider to around 14%. We'll crank the release value beyond that of our first envelope generator. Our second envelope now causes the filter to open up immediately and then rapidly close down nearly to nil, providing a more lively tonal character. We've made some neat patches, but there's still one classic that we've not yet tackled, and we can manage it with only a single cable and a few tweaks. We're speaking of the once popular tuned noise patch as used by Wendy Carlos, Mort Garson, and Tangerine Dream. We'll start by running a cable from the CV Source's pitch jack to our filter's Freak Mod 2 input. We'll crank the Freak Mod 2 knob fully clockwise and play a few notes at the bottom of the keyboard. Normally, that pitch jack is used to send 1 volt per octave signals, or the virtual equivalent, from incoming MIDI notes to an oscillator. Here, it'll be used to increasingly open the filter cutoff as we play up our keyboard range. We'll turn the filter's cutoff down to around 310 Hz, and the resonance up to about 65%. Now we'll go back to the envelope generator controlling the filter cutoff and nudge its decay slider to 7 milliseconds or so for a snappier tone. We'll play some notes across the keyboard range. We can add an effect such as a delay for more flavor. Don't hesitate to experiment to see what timbres you can come up with on your own.